Good afternoon. How is everyone doing today? My name is Clay Robinson. I want to talk to you guys about behavior. I want to talk to you about, things that happen within the confines of the relationship. Sometimes it gets us in trouble. Sometimes we can survive at home. Sometimes that relationship lasts. But so many times things don't work out. And after relationships can end, someone will think about the things that took place and try to understand, why didn't I do better? Now, I have been working in this area of behavioral health for approximately 28 years now. I have provided services to all of the courts. When I say courts in the states that I've lived in, Michigan, Florida, also to other agencies, children's agencies, family agencies, etc. So one of the things that I wanted to do was to put together a program of information that if your mind is open, if your mind is receptive to learning and thinking, I'm telling you, you're going to make some great strides in your relationship. So this is what I have done. I have put together 18 lessons, subject matter, okay? Because there's so many different things that bother people in relationships. What bothers one person might not bother the other. However, if you do something inappropriate in the relationship, your consequences can be exactly the same. Example, I got in my wife's face, or she got in my face, and she slapped me or she touched me inappropriately. Law enforcement, you got a domestic violence case. So as we talk, what I'm going to do is I'm going to present sessions, lessons that will, in my opinion, really help you in a step-by-step manner. Also, what it'll do is kind of touch the different levels of thoughts that different people have, the different levels of behavior. So this is what I'm going to present, the think before punish sequence, okay? And my first session is going to be this: punishment. Punishment is one of the key things that we will dole out to someone who makes us feel a certain way, be it kids, be it your mate, or whatever. Punishment. Next, teach before punish. When I say that, I want you to think about how upset you get when your child or your mate or someone that you love or care about does something that you dislike. What is the recourse? What is the punishment that you'll put on them? Next is problem, pain, and protection. What does that mean? That means that what you perceive as a problem, and let's call it an emotional problem, someone said something or did something that you really didn't like. So now you're going through something emotionally. And as you carry that emotional pain, how do you protect yourself? How do you feel better when someone did something that you think was inappropriate to you? Next, the domestic violence collateral damage. I want you to think about that, because in relationships, when a man and a woman, a mother and a father, behave inappropriate in the house, holler, scream, get angry, throw things, touch someone inappropriately. When I say touch someone, strike, battery, touch, throw something at someone. When you do that, what is the consequence of it? How does the child feel when he or she see mom and daddy fighting, hollering and screaming? We as parents seldom think about the kids when we are in our emotional state. Think about what I'm talking about: problem, pain, protection, collateral damage. They go hand in hand. Next is disrespect in you. Oh, Lord, have mercy. How many times do we hear someone say, they disrespected me? And that disrespect varies. When you talk to a person, I ask that question, well, what did they do to you? You think about that. What did they do to you? So next, equality. Equality in a relationship represents nonviolence. What is that? How can I exist within the confines of my relationship and have equality for every person in my relationship? Communication. Communication is a major issue that impacts the relationships all the time. People don't think the same. We're not educated the same. Our life experiences are not the same. Our upbringing are not, our community, our relationships, all of those things differ so much. So if there's so much variation, how can communication be exactly what you want? Or if the person is trying to communicate with you, but you don't understand. Next, intent. What is your intent? When you behave in a certain way, or you say something, or it's being just bad, what was your intent at that moment? What did you hope to achieve? Let's talk about assumptions. I assume because he or she is not home at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning, they got to be out there doing something wrong. Not necessarily. But in my mind, I'm thinking and I am assuming. How do we handle those assumptions? Log in and you'll learn. Next, recognition. Recognition of what you're feeling inside of you. We have so many different feelings that impact us, that causes us to feel a lot of different things. Recognition, when in session, I talk all the time, identify your feelings, grab your feelings. When you can take the time to process your feelings, what happens next? Because when you talk about feelings and thoughts, then can come behavior. And that behavior very often is not appropriate. That's why there's approximately 10 million domestic violence cases reported across this country, and there's approximately 10 million they estimate that never come out. When we go to a situation or there's a problem in a home, you'll then talk about, well, this isn't the first time, but now this is the time that law enforcement is involved. After recognition, managing feelings. Managing feelings is another additive to the other thoughts that we have and how those things make us feel. When you concentrate on managing your feelings, and I mean practice it, you gotta practice. If you don't practice and you just have a thought and don't work with it, you're never gonna grow. Think about sports players. Think about individuals who do things very well. They practice, they work at it. Next, emotional preparation. Emotional preparation is the things that will prepare you when you recognize and get stronger and stronger those preparations. Example, here's one. I know if I come in late, I can expect to hear something from my significant other. I know if I don't do something, I can expect to hear something. Or even if the relationship is broken and we have kids in common, she or he is always kind of agitated. So when I prepare to see my kids or go over to that house or whatever I have to do, I am prepared emotionally to deal with what's coming. So therefore, I don't fly off the handle and behave inappropriate. Next, rules of control. Rules of control helps us identify all of the different things, the consequences that can impact us because of being out of control. There's things that we have to study and be cognizant of. When I say that, I want you to think about childhood. Parents don't know how to teach us. They can say, you learn right from wrong, but that's not the key. Right from wrong is a good baseline just to hear, but you got to dig into that moment. And I'm telling you, that moment when someone feels a certain way, what do you do? Next, I take you back to the beginning. When I go back to the beginning, we will talk about the very first time you got upset. We'll take a look at the relationship at the start, at the beginning, when, oh, it was so lovey-dovey and it was great. What made it bad? Go back to the beginning and think and identify the feelings as you move forward. Next, self-awareness and vulnerability. Who are you? What about those feelings inside of you? Why do those feelings manifest in the manner that they do? How do you recognize? How do you grab you? How do you know you? Self-awareness and vulnerability. Next, how to protect your family. We have kids, we have significant others. We always talk about the love. When we talk about the love, how do I protect them? Cut and dry. How do you protect them? Now, we're going to move into the final couple of sessions, which would be the love class. Oh, the love class. What is it? What is that love that we have or had? Why did that love end? Think about it. We're going to get deep into it, okay? We're going to have questions that I'm going to present, and I'm going to give you opportunities to think and give you some variables in how to address, recognize, and handle. Lastly, daily emotional design. Every day, there has to be a design for how you handle your emotions. That's going to be our key 18 sessions. And I'm telling you that if you get involved, you log in, you participate, and key, have an open mind. Because when I present a question, I can only help you to think about it. I present the question, you dial in, and you go there. Everyone, think about what's going to happen in your life and how wonderful it's going to be. Thank you very much. Take care.